Hello and welcome once again to I Do Canals. Last week I left you about 7/10 of a mile that way at Dobbs Weir and Dobbs Lock. So just a little further down the navigation, which is over here, and the river, which is here, we find ourselves at Carthagena Weir. Same configuration as Dobbs, with that multiple triangular cutting into the weir top, 3 of them, just the same. And the lock is just over here. This is really stunning here. It's a really nice, wide, very gentle looking weir pool. It looks pretty deep. Looks about 6 feet deep here and I suspect a bit more in the middle. And it's stunning here. It's beautiful. It's peaceful. There's nobody about. Come here in the early evening. It's about 6 o'clock. It's overcast, so it's not too hot. Really great. So look, if you're here today, we're going to be looking at Carthagena Lock, Carthagena Weir, and we're going to head a little further downstream, and we've got another pub called The Crown. We're going to try and go in there. I've introduced myself, so hopefully they'll be okay. Last week, I wanted to go in the fish and eels up by the weir, Dobbs Weir, and when I got in there, it was pretty no-go with the camera. It was chock-a-block, and you've got all sorts of privacy issues if people are on camera and using it in the video, so I didn't bother. So sorry about that, but hopefully today we'll have better luck down at The Crown. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I hope you enjoy the video. Please give us a nice thumbs up if you do. Thank you. Carthagena Lock has the same characteristic lower end elbow lock gates that we've seen both at Weir Lock and Feildes Lock, and I'm seriously thinking that we're going to see that most of the way down the Lea navigation. Very nice here though. Somebody's done it all out with hanging baskets, made it really lovely looking. This lock has had a number of rebuilds after the original weir was built. So let's get a look from the air and I'll tell you all about that then. So the lock, although it is 90 feet in length, it can cope with a boat of 87. The fall is only 5 feet. The original weir could take a boat of 18 feet wide, whilst today's lock is only 16 feet wide. The various rebuilds were 1767 the original lock, and then 1827, 1917, and very soon after then 1922. So lots of rebuilds over the years. It'd be interesting to look at the other locks along the Lea navigation and see if they've had a similar pattern of rebuilds. We'll make a note to look at that. So the weir was built as a turnpike in 1741 and rebuilt as the first pound lock in 1767 or 1768 in Broxbourne Gull, which was an existing flood channel separate from, but roughly parallel to, Broxbourne Millstream. It is not a man-made channel, although it may have been improved over the years. The map here shows that the Gull and the location of Carthagena Turnpike sometime soon after 1741. Carthagena Lock is the 7th lock from Hertford and about 7/10 of a mile walk south from Dobbs Lock and Weir. Carthagena Weir is located at Broxbourne on the River Lea. The well-oxygenated water with depths to over 16 feet in the weir pool makes it a cracking coarse fishery, and apparently some impressive chub and barbel are taken from here, obviously returned, on a regular basis. As we've seen, the weir is a very similar design to Dobbs Weir with its forked makeup. Further up at Feildes Lock we saw the River Lea split and part of the flow diverted through the path of the lakes. that form the basis of the Lea Valley Country Park that runs from just north of the M25 near Waltham Cross to Dobbs Weir, about 6 miles from top to bottom. It's full of green parkland, lakes and of course the River Lea and the Lea Navigation. The Crown Pub, another waterside pub on the Lea Navigation, stands opposite Lea Valley Boat Centre. They have motorboats and day boats for a great family day out. If you've never tried it, highly recommend it. It's really, really worth the day. Now that boat, Pride of Lea, looks like it was a river tour boat. It's for sale. Price on application. But if you're interested, look, 07974 718 466. This is Cheshunt Lock, which is number 9, coming south down from Hertford. And as you can see, it is just the same as the previous locks we've seen on the Lea Navigation. It has those very typical elbowed top gates, which are at the lower end of the lock. And as we just fly along here, we'll transition into a shot where you can see them really clearly as they're white painted. This is probably one of the best shots I've had of these lock gates. Anyway, all around Cheshunt Lock, the Lea Navigation is sandwiched between lakes and beautiful countryside on both sides, and it's the Lea Valley Country Park. It's absolutely chock-a-block with walks. You could walk a dozen different places in a dozen different days and not see the same thing twice. It's beautiful. Highly recommend you go. Some time back I mentioned the growth of fruit trees on the side of canals. Chap walking along, a horse eats an apple, passes the apple to the horse passes the apple out the other end, complete with fertilizer, and it will grow a tree. So I was looking at this pear tree and just getting some different shots with the drone, and then I saw this little chap who was as startled as I was, I think. So very quickly after then we walked into the park and I came across these really impressive wooden sculptures. Just take a look. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did. Couldn't quite figure out what this was. It's clearly an insect on there, so excuse the bumpy camera as I just try and walk around. I'll keep as steady as I can. The sun's very bright behind there. But then when we get round this side, it becomes a little bit more obvious. At first I thought it was maybe something like a dragonfly nymph or something like that. But it's not. It's like a big flying insect. I don't know. Those definitely aren't wings. I mean, they're reeds or weeds or something like that. Is it a water boatman? I think so. When you look at these down at the bottom here, like its legs or its oars, I think it is, isn't it? Really fascinating stuff here. So on my way to Cheshunt Lock, I met the wonderful crew aboard Truly Scrumptious. They invited me aboard for some wonderful hospitality. We had a great chat. However, my microphone was acting up and I lost some of the audio. So please bear with it, the second section. It's a bit of a hash up, do apologise. But also at the end of this section is their Instagram channel. You might want to follow Wide Beam Boater. Whilst on my way down to film Cheshunt Lock, which is over there, I got accosted by these two gentlemen who forced me to have a beer. But later on I found there was penance because I had to peel a button and I cut my finger. So we've got a lovely beer and Amanda, Tracy, Ken and Mark. I'm rubbish with names. There we go. I'd just like to say I've been so warmly welcomed by you. And it is something that I see everywhere I go. Proper canal. Do you know what? We were talking about that earlier on. You can walk past people in a park and they barely glance at you. If there's a boat involved, the welcome is utterly different. And my wife and I, Karen, who's not with us here today, she's working. Right? So, right? So we do find it so much amazing. Thank you, Truly Scrumptious. I hope to meet you all again someday soon. Thank you very much for watching our video here at I Do Canals. Karen will be rejoining us very, very soon. Apologies for this is not my normal outro, but as mentioned in the previous scene, bit of problem with the audio capture. We'll have that fixed for next time. Meanwhile, don't forget to press the like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, push the little notification bell to learn when we're going to upload another video, and we'll see you very soon on I Do Canals. And we'll leave you with this rather impressive looking World War II anti-aircraft battery.